In step 6, your objective is similar to step 5. To once again light the LED by pressing push button 1. In this step and the next step, you will be introduced to the start and stop priority in the self-holding circuit by using the second push button to terminate the self-holding circuit. Before we begin, let's take a moment to cover the new configuration that we will use for this step. Take a look at this diagram. This is similar to the circuit that you will be creating. Look carefully at the circuit. Can you tell if this is a start or stop priority? A start priority circuit will continue to power the circuit even if the termination switch, in this case push button 2, is being held down when both buttons are pressed. Open your workbook to activity 6.1. For this step, these are the symbols you will use. Think carefully about where push button 2 needs to be placed in order to give start priority. Pause the video now and begin. Here you can see the completed diagram. In order to give the circuit a start priority, the second push button must be placed at the self-holding circuit. When placed here, even if the stop button is held, power can still flow to the relay if the start button, in this case push button 1, is pressed. The self-holding circuit, however, will not activate in this state. Open your workbook to activity 6.2. For this step, you will use the diagram in activity 6.1 to help you to draw the wiring diagram for activity 6.2. Pause the video now and begin. Activity 6.2 is fairly straightforward. The wiring is similar to activity 5.2 from the previous step, but with the addition of the second push button. Here you can see the changes to the circuit highlighted. For activity 6.3, you will use your previous diagrams from activities 6.1 and 6.2 to physically wire the circuit board. Pause the video now and begin. How did you do? This is how the board should look when wired. Just as with activities 6.1 and 6.2, the second push button is configured to give the start button priority when both are pressed. Here you can see normal operation. Pressing push button 1 and 2 individually activates and deactivates the self-holding circuit on the relay. When push button 2 is held, however, the relay will still activate when push button 1 is pressed. This is the start priority circuit. Congratulations! You have just completed step 6.